Hey guys, and welcome to my video. It's been quite a while since my last one, and I'm a little bit rusty, but I'm gonna make it. Actually quite a while is undermining it a bit. It's been like a year or something, and what a year it's been. I was thinking about making this like a drawing vlog, a dog, like I've got this dog series, I'm doing quotations, series on my channel, but not that much actually happened in the year. I had a lot, and a lot of therapy, like so much therapy for my depression and to deal with like the borderline stuff that I show, and then I got diagnosed with even more stuff, like a social anxiety disorder and a dissociative disorder, and I'm showing like so much more symptoms. So at the moment therapy focuses on like finding out what it is that I have, and finding like a professional or a facility that can like look at me and tell me, yeah, you've got that, and this is a treatment plan. So that's been what's going on in a year. And after this like therapy journey that I had, it was time to take a break and not only focus on myself, but focus on my relationship with my new boyfriend. Yay! Yeah, I've got a new boyfriend since last time, and he really supports me through my journey and is always by my side, which is really kind of lovely. And he got his driver's license, and we decided to take a trip to the next town, to the aquarium. It's been quite a while since we took the trip, actually. Now everything is closed again, and we're in the second lockdown here in Germany, so it took me a while to edit and record the audio and stuff. Yeah, but I'm here doing what I like. We went to the aquarium, and I wanted to sketch there and like draw some fish, but it was actually quite dark, and like it wasn't really good to film anything there or sit down and sketch, because I really couldn't see what I was sketching. So I sat down at home and started to sketch. I didn't film the sketching process, because filming the sketching process makes me sketch worse, because I've got like this pressure, oh, it's on camera, your sketch has to turn out good, and yeah, so I didn't do that. I just filmed me lining stuff and started from there. I really wanted to draw all the pretty fish, but I had to choose, because drawing them all would be just too much. I don't want to draw just fish. I want to draw other animals and subjects too. So yeah, I just picked some random fish and plants. they weren't all in one aquarium, and it's pretty unlikely that they live together out there in the real world. So, I mean, I'm not aiming for scientific accuracy with my art. That's for other people to do. Like, I'm not an illustrator for science books or anything. I just want to have fun. With the plants, you can notice that I didn't sketch too much before or ink anything before I went in with the watercolors, because I wanted it to be really loose and sort of expressive, I guess. I don't know. And I find it a lot easier to draw plants with shapes instead of lines. So with sketching you have kind of the lines and you make everything, you have to make everything look kind of perfect. And with the watercolor you can just fill in the shapes and it does the work for you. So it was a little bit easier for me to do it this way. It took me a long time to learn this, like to get away from lining everything and sketching to just go straight in with watercolor, because it's so counterintuitive for me and it took such a long time for me to get good at sketching. I'm just like, no, you can't take this away from me. I need this, but I don't need it. I actually really like how the plants turned out. And the rocks as well in my imaginary sketchbook aquarium. And of course, at least in theory, if I line the fish and the turtle, they will pop more than the plants do because they're lined and black and stuff and contrast. I mean, I'm not going to art school or anything. This is just what I learned from watching other artists on YouTube. And from what I did in school, which isn't really much. School teaches you basically nothing when it comes to art. At least, that's my experience. I didn't write down any names of the plants and like the scientific names, and I'm really sad because I want to learn more about plants and I just don't know where to start. I mean, maybe aquatic plants are the best way to start knowing about plants, but whatever. I didn't know what I was drawing. It was really hard. Just like with the photo reference I took, it was really hard to draw anything because the lighting was so bad and the focus was always on the fish and never on the plant. So I just made everything up, but with the fish it was a little bit better. I painted some, like, on the left I painted some like blue silverish fishies. I don't know their name. I absolutely don't. I wish I had wrote it down, but they ended up just some generic fish in my sketchbook, although they looked really cool in the aquarium and they're like so big. So big. I just can't comprehend how big some fish get. And so the fish I do know is the Paracanthurus hepatus. I mean, that's the Latin name for it. Most of you will probably know it from Animal Crossing as the pellet surgeonfish. And if you ever wondered why this family of fish, this group of fish, is called surgeonfish, they have little bone blades like blades made of bone, really, really sharp ones, at the tail fin to defend themselves. I looked it up to see if anyone died because they got cut by a pellet surgeonfish, but I couldn't find anyone. I mean, pellet surgeonfish are not the biggest fish. But I did find some cases where people were pretty badly injured, like they cut deep. Pellet surgeonfish don't mess around. They will cut you deep and you will bleed. On a side note, they are most commonly known as dory, but I hate when people say that. Don't call them dory. Do not call them dory. If you go to an aquarium, at least take the time to learn the fish's real name and be proud you know a little bit more than you did yesterday. Especially if you're older than 10, you shouldn't be yelling, "Look, dory," if you see a blue and yellow fish. Okay, that was a little bit of a rant, but I hate that. Same goes for Nemo. His name's not Nemo. Okay, just take some time to learn the names of the fish. I mean, I'm a prime example. Saying, yeah, I painted some silver bluish fish. But, I mean, they were not in the movie, so I ain't got human names to name them. They just some fish. I think they're more on the northern waters, like European, North America side of things. I mean, more colorful fish are obviously reef fish, and like bluish silverish fish are like open water fish or river fish or something. I mean, probably I'm no marine biologist. Where was I? Oh, the pellet surgeonfish. Although they're not per se poisonous, if you eat them, you can get cigarette fish poisoning. What's that? You may ask if you don't know about this. Cigarette, I'm not entirely sure I'm pronouncing this right, but cigarette fish poisoning, or CFP, is obviously a foodborne illness caused by eating reef fish. So not only the pellet surgeonfish, but also, for example, a red snapper could give you a CFP. But why, if these fish are not toxic? Like I said, the blade the pellet surgeonfish cuts your skin with doesn't cause you poisoning. It just makes you bleed. Well, their flesh is contaminated by their food. They eat little marine organisms, like other small fish, eating like the plankton and stuff, little bacteria, little single-celled organism, or like not as complex organisms as fish. Living around or on the coral reefs. And those little organisms contain mostly ciguatoxin. Again, don't know how to pronounce this properly, but it's a toxin. Hence cigarette fish poisoning. You know, sounds kind of similar. And another toxin called mycotoxin. fish like the pellet searching fish store these toxins in their meat, and if you eat them, you vomit, you get diarrhea, numbness, and lots of other stuff that can kill you, but doesn't necessarily has to. Just like the flu, basically. Okay, maybe it's a little more deadly than the flu, but like, don't quote me on that. I didn't look up mortality rates or any numbers and compare them. Either way, don't eat reef fish. I mean, nobody really eats reef fish because they're poisonous, but if you go on holiday and someone offers you reef fish, say no. They're probably poisonous and you won't feel too good after eating them, even after cooking it. So I mean, that's probably why most reef fish aren't endangered. Like, the pellet surgeon fish isn't endangered. I mean, pellet surgeon fish are also like common aquarium fish. I mean, I don't know how it is when you're like having a private aquarium at home, but if you go to like a big aquarium near you, chances are they have the pellet surgeon fish. So yeah, it's pretty common, and if we were to run out in the wilderness, we would have so much pellet surgeon fish in aquariums. We could probably pretty easy set some of them free. I mean, if we run out of pellet surgeon fish in the wilderness, it's probably because we destroyed all the coral reefs, but that's a different story. Although reef fish, also mostly blue, like the blue silverfish on the left side, I drew. So I was on the lookout for more colorful reef fish, but at the aquarium, all the like super colorful fish were really small, like 2 to 4 centimeters small. And I mean, my drawing isn't really accurate, like size-wise, but I can't just draw like a hawksbill sea turtle and next to this like one big giant fish, like super colorful, if it's in reality just like a 2 centimeter little fishy. So I drew little teeny tiny fishies in like orange, red and yellow all over the place. And for lack of anything like really interesting, like pattern wise in fish, I drew the hawksbill sea turtle, which was at the aquarium too. Like, they had a variety of different sea turtles there, but I thought the hawksbill sea turtle looked like the most interesting pattern wise, because it's got a real cool pattern at the back. I don't know if I have footage of me drawing the pattern on the back, because my dissociated as fuck mind didn't realize the camera wasn't filming, so a big chunk of me like finishing the sketch isn't recorded, and it just jumps straight to the final result. But you gotta believe me, I drew it. I mean, why would I pay someone to draw for me and voice it over? Because I like my voice so much. I wanted to have it on the internet, yeah, and I just... No, that would be way too way too dumb. Way too... No. Yeah, I drew the hawksbill sea turtle. It's really, really, really fucking endangered. Like every other sea turtle. No, cross out the other, like every sea turtle. Funny thing is, their flesh is eaten in some countries and cultures, but you can like get CFP from eating turtle flesh too, so because they eat the reef fish, like for example like okay, no, palate surgeon fish would be like a little bit too big, I guess, but like small fish they eat. I mean, mostly they eat jellyfish, but when they're close to reef, they will eat the little fish and store these poisons in their flesh, and you can get poison from eating the turtle. So why are they endangered, you may ask? Well, for the same reason I decided to draw the turtle, because their shells are so pretty. Funny enough, while researching hawksbill sea turtles, I found out that they glow on the black light. I mean, they don't glow themselves. There's like bacteria and stuff living on the turtle, producing like the light when you shine black light on it. It's so funny that this piece of knowledge was only discovered now, or I don't know from when the article was. I will probably link it down in the description down below. But yeah, and turns out not only the hawksbill sea turtle glows under black light, but a surprising abundance of animals does, which is like so crazy to me. But the pictures of animals glowing on the black light are so pretty and so inspiring. I really got to draw those. Yeah, so here's the finished product. As I said, a lot of footage of the went missing due to me not realizing what I am doing. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you soon in another video.